do this and the narcissist will go insane. That's what we're going to be talking about in this video. And I have done a few videos on this topic already. But in this one I want to talk more about it. Because I know usually I just say all you've got to do is go no contact and move on. And then that will drive the narcissist insane. Which is true. I mean, that's normally enough to drive any narcissist insane because they have such a obsessive need for power and control. But there is more to it than that, which I would like to go into in this video. Because what narcissists really can't stand is when you have something that they want. And I don't mean you've taken something from them, although I'm sure that would irritate a narcissist as well, or anyone. But this is more you establishing something on your own, something that they desire to have. And typically these will be your possessions, because they are more concerned with superficial things. So you might move on and buy a new house or a new car, or you just become successful in something. Maybe you start a new business, or you start making more money, you start making new friends. These are the types of things that they will be envious of, because these are the types of things that they desire to have. And another thing as well is if you move on and you meet someone new, you start a new relationship. And I know it's funny because you might look back and think that when you were with them, they never cared about you. They neglected you. They were never even there when you needed them. So it might come as quite a surprise for you to hear this, because you might be thinking, hold on a minute, they neglected me the entire time. They were never there for me when I needed them. They were always out doing their own thing. And then they just contact you when they're bored, when they've got nothing else to do. So it might come as quite a surprise to hear just how jealous narcissists can be, because they're actually very possessive and controlling. They see you as an object that exists to serve them whenever they need you. So that's typically how it goes as well, because they don't really believe that you can move on your own. They don't think that you have the power to do that, because you've already handed your power over to them. You've let them define you and the relationship and who you're supposed to be for them. So they look at it as though if you've moved on, then someone must have taken you away from them. That's usually how they see it. And if they see that you're in a new relationship, again with the superficial things, if they see that you're with someone who is physically attractive, something they see as attractive to them, maybe someone who is in good shape, someone who's tall, someone who is powerful and successful, and not only that, but someone who cares about you, someone who takes care of you. So it's pretty much someone who does everything they didn't do for you, everything they should have done when they had the chance. So it's quite funny when you think about it. But what really irritates them, what really drives them insane, is when you move on and you find someone who does everything they didn't do for you, and maybe everything that you were doing for them. You find someone who's doing that for you. So look back and remember how much you cared about them. You did everything you could to make them happy. It was never good enough, but you still tried. If you move on and you find someone like that, someone who cares about you in the way that you cared about them, someone who maybe even puts you first sometimes, someone who loves you as much as you love them. If you move on and you find someone like that, that will really drive them insane, because they want something like that too, although they're not really concerned about if it's real or not so much. But what they really want is this grade A source of supply who will be there for them whenever they need them. The supply who will do whatever they want. When they say jump, the new supply says how high. The new supply extends themselves as far as they need to go to please the narcissist, this unpleasable person. They bend over backwards for them. They pretty much give up their entire lives to try and make this miserable person happy. That's what a narcissist wants, and I'm sure many of you, that's what you were to them. This object that was just waiting around whenever they needed you, whatever they needed you to do. No matter how excessive the demands or how unrealistic it was, they expected you to do it. So of course, when you move on and you find someone who really cares about you, and they don't just pretend to care about you the way that the narcissist did, they actually show it. Real emotions, and you feel it. You feel that it's real. You feel that this person actually cares about you and they have your best interest in mind, and they don't just talk like the narcissist does when they're trying to manipulate you. This new person is about it for real, and they show it with their actions. And when the narcissist has to see that, they will go insane. It will bother them. They won't like it. So I guess to summarize it, what really drives a narcissist insane more than anything else is when you move on and it's like, for the first time in a very long time, you're actually happy. You're smiling, you're laughing, you're joking, you're not taking things so seriously anymore. You're actually having a good time. And I know many of you may have been imprisoned in these relationships for 10, 20 years. And you can't remember the last time you smiled. You can't remember the last time you were actually happy. And I feel for you. those of you who had to go through that, because that is no way to live. As I've always said, life is meant to be enjoyed, not endured. And I want you to enjoy every minute of your life after leaving the narcissist. But I can also tell you that's what will drive them insane the most. It's to see your happiness, your satisfaction with life. And if you're in a new relationship with a new person that you are with, but you got to sit back and think, hold on a minute, why does that drive them insane? Why does that bother them so much? And it's actually quite simple. Because let's say there's something that you desire in life. It may be a friend of yours. It could be a co-worker. It might even be a family member. And maybe they're in a new relationship. They're in love. And you look at that and you think, wow, that's great. I'm happy for them. And maybe that could happen for me. The narcissist does not feel that same way. The reason why they go insane, why it irritates them so much, because they already know it's never going to happen for them. The best they're ever going to get is this source of supply, just like you were to them. But in the end, what happened? They couldn't sustain it. They ended up devaluing you, turning against you, making you miserable, driving you insane. And then in the end, I know many of you just didn't want anything to do with them. So they already know that's never going to happen for them. They're never going to have someone look at them in that way, with actual desire and love, like they're the best thing that ever happened to them in their lives. They're never going to experience that feeling, that sensation. They're never going to have that. And they know it. They already know it. And that's why it drives them so insane. Because a normal person, if you see something that you desire, something that you want, and you know that you can get it, you know that you can make it happen if you really want to. But narcissists, they can't do any of that. They can't. They can't experience love. That's not something that narcissists get to experience. And I don't want to stand here and validate other people's feelings, but I have to be honest, it is the truth. They don't get to experience real love. How can you experience real love when you are self-absorbed and you lack empathy? when you're constantly thinking about yourself, your own feelings and needs, you're constantly in survival mode. They are never trying to share someone else's feelings or experience, and you should know that already from your relationship with them. When did they ever sit down and try to understand you? I bet they never did that. And you might have been with them for 10 years. You couldn't remember a single time where it seemed like they actually cared about you. So, yeah, there's no way that they are going to move on and have something with anyone. It's never going to happen. And that is why it eats away at them so much. Because they've been with you long enough to know that you do have empathy. They know that, and they've used it against you. They played the victim, they tried to make you feel bad for them. In most cases, that's how they got in the first place. When they first met you, they complained about the last person they were with. They said they did all these things to them to make you feel bad for them. Then you give them a chance because they know that you are empathic. And empathic people, they have the best relationships, the most amazing connections, something that narcissists will never have. They will never get to experience that. And yeah, it's like I've said before, love always wins in the end. It really does. It's the truth. But yeah, they will go insane for all of these things, anything superficial, anything that you achieve or obtain after they're gone. And they'll feel like they're missing out. They'll wish that they could be a part of that. Whether it's money, power, success, whatever it is, a new business, you bought a new house, a new car. Because these things are very important to them. They are ego-driven. They have this need to feel important, especially after you're gone. They're constantly watching you and comparing themselves to you and trying to be better than you, trying to get one over on you, because they're using you as a tool to regulate their emotions. They can't regulate their own emotions, which means that they can't generate that feeling of love from within. All they can do is pull people in and enslave them, domesticate them, and just use them as a source of supply. And I know some of you may think about, what if the narcissist moves on, finds someone else, and they fall in love? Or you may have seen something on social media, they're posting up pictures, they're looking happy with a new person. That person's just a new source of supply. And to know that, you've only got to look back at how they treated you. Did they ever care about you? Did they ever care about what you were going through with them? Did they ever try to understand you? No, they didn't. And that is how you know they're going to experience the exact same thing with the next person and the next person after that. And it's going to be the same thing again and again until the day they die. And many of them end up alone. So it should be no surprise that this is the thing. This is it. This is what they're envious of the most. This is what drives them insane. When you move on and you find someone who loves you, who cares for you. Especially if you meet another empath. That will really drive them insane. Yeah, it will really drive them insane to see that and you found someone who is giving you the love Paul never gave to you. But they're looking at it like if they had another chance, it's not so much that they would try to establish a connection with you, because they already know that they can't. They know it doesn't do anything for them. They would just use those things to manipulate and control you. That's all they've ever tried to do. And that's how you should know that even when they move on, all they're going to do is try to manipulate and control someone else. That is all they're going to do. They're not going to do anything else. But for you, you can have that for real. You can experience that for real. And that is what they're so afraid of. That is why they are so possessive and controlling over you. Because they already know that what they have with you is not real. They know that already. They know that they've tricked you. They've manipulated you. They've groomed you. Yes, they are fully aware of that. And they are terrified that one day you'll figure them out. You'll realize that it's all a lie. They're not about anything for real. They're just future faking you. They're making false promises about your possible future with them to get what they want in the present. And then, of course, when you realize that, that's when you know it's time to go. And, of course, they already know what you're going to be looking for once you've left them behind. Because if there's one thing that we all have in common on here, everyone who watches my videos, we were all looking for something before we met these narcissists. We were looking for intimacy and connection. We were joy, happiness, maybe marriage, children, starting a family. That's what we were looking for before we met the narcissist, or when we first got involved with them. And they tricked us. They made us believe that they were about that, while knowing fully well that they weren't. They just wanted to trick us, contain us, domesticate us, and keep us stuck for as long as they could. And maybe they were hoping to keep us there for life, so that we'd never move on. And we'd never realize that they're fake. They're not about love. They're not about anything other than manipulation, lies, and tricks. But they know that you're about something for real. They know that you're an empath. They know that you want to share your love with someone, and you want it to be real. And they're afraid of that. They're very jealous. They don't want to see you moving on and doing that. It will drive them insane. But that's why I make these videos. That's why I've been doing this now for nearly 5 years. Because that's my mission, is for you to leave this fake person behind who doesn't even care about you, and to find something real. Find someone who actually cares about you and loves you and gives you the same treatment that you gave to them, to the narcissist. Because all of that time you were with them, you cared about them. You did everything for them. You invested all of your time, energy, and money. You did everything you could to make them happy. Sometimes you just got to look back and imagine, what if you could meet someone who could do that for you? Someone who could care about you just like you cared about the narcissist. Just imagine how amazing that would be. And use that as your motivation to move on from them. Because that's what you need. That needs to be your motivation. Your vision. That should be what fuels you. Is to one day find this person who cares about you for real. And they're not just manipulating you, they're not just playing games, they're not trying to keep you stuck so they can use you, but they're actually reciprocating back what you're giving to them. And it's an equal exchange. Because I know many of you have been starved for such a long time. You've been starved of love and affection. Things that you are deserving of. And instead, you were given this fake version of love, which kept you stuck, and then they devalued you. They put you down. They locked you away. They hid you from the world. Because deep down they knew that you deserved so much more. You do deserve so much more. And I want that for you. But it all starts by taking responsibility for where you find yourself now. Because of course you can't just go from this narcissistic relationship to being with a person that you desire and who gives you real love. It doesn't work that way. First, you must heal yourself. You must practice self-love and self-care and become the best version of yourself. Because there should always be an equal exchange. So whatever love you want someone to give to you, you need to be able to give that to them. Because that will sustain the relationship. And I know that you can have that for real. It doesn't just have to be a dream, a fantasy. You can experience that in real life. And you will. And I can say that from my own experiences. For much of my life, I felt like I was locked away, and I never got to experience real life. But then over the last few years, my life completely changed. And I got to experience things that I never thought I would get to experience. And it's been amazing. I'm so thankful for it, for how my life has changed. And of course, I could look back and feel bitter and resentful for how I was treated and how my life was pretty much robbed from me, as it was for many of you. But if I did that, that would have kept me stuck. I wouldn't have been able to have moved on. What kept me going is this vision of the future and what I hope to achieve. And I don't just mean in my business, with money, or things like that, but just having a normal, reciprocal relationship with someone who loves and cares about me just as much as I love and care about them. Because deep down, I think that's what we all want. That's what we all wanted before we met the narcissist. And we have to remember that. Because many people, after they get involved with a narcissist, they become so paranoid and distrustful. They just want to be alone for the rest of their lives. And that's exactly what the narcissist wants for you. They want you to be stuck. They want you to be unable to move on, unable to forget about the past, everything that you went through with them. They want that to play on your mind for the rest of your life. But of course, I don't want that for you. I want you to be able to move on. And I know that you will in time. And if you ever need someone to talk to, just remember that I am available for one-on-one coaching. And whatever you're going through, we can talk about it. And we can talk about moving on, the things that you need to do. I've been there, I've been through it many times, so I know what it's like, and I believe that I can help you. So yeah, if you're interested in my services, you can book a session with me through my website. It is narcsurvivor.co.uk. That is it for this video. That's what drives a narcissist insane. I'd just like to thank you all for your support. Thank you for joining me today. Please give this video a thumbs up down below if you enjoyed it. Share your thoughts in the comment section. I read your comments every day. And share the video, subscribe, and also check out my Instagram as well. It is Narc Survivor YouTube on Instagram. I have new pictures and videos of my travels every day on there. So check that out. Okay, I'd just like to thank you all for joining me. And you all have a great day. I will talk to you in another video very soon.